I've known Ms. Perozzo for a long time. I've known these lawyers for 40 years, and she's a very fine lawyer. You aren't in a position to tell who's effective or not. I am, because I've seen her work.
Good morning, Mr. Walker. You're here in Jackson County case 23-539MM. It is a battery case, and Mr. McDaniel, we just arraigning him this morning, or is that what we're doing?
I've already arraigned him. So this is a pretrial docket. So I'm just going.
He's on our first appearance docket for some reason.
Well, it's because
I wasn't first appearance,
He's on the other docket too?
He's on the pretrial docket, right?
Okay. So, Mr. Walker, you're actually here for a pretrial. And in that case, the public defender's office has already been appointed to represent you. I'm going to ask that you listen to Mr. McDaniel. He's going to tell us where we're going in your case.
Your Honor, I talked with Mr. Walker at this point in time. He's going to ask to put it on the November 15th jail pretrial docket and then the November 27th trial docket.
– November 15th.
Yes, I've been 44 days.
Pretrial, 11/15th. Pretrial and 11/27th. We said 27th trial docket. Ms. Bremer, anything from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Walker, any questions about that, sir?
Yes, sir, Your Honor. The charge, okay. When I came to court that day, you remanded me because I was late. All right, okay. So I've been here 44 days.
You actually got here after court was over, I believe. You wasn't just late. Court was over. But go ahead, please.
I came to court, okay, Your Honor. You remanded me, so I respect that. Okay, I did 44 days on the charge so far right now as of today. And the battery charge, you said the state took it up now, but the person that put the charge on me, they dropped the charges. So I'm asking you, Your Honor, I got 44 days in. I'm losing a lot of money out there. I work. And I'm saying, I have 44 days in on this charge right here. But he offered me 60 days just the other day when he came to see me for the first time. Okay, and I said, no, I don't want to take that because I didn't do it. Okay, so I'm Your Honor, I didn't do the charge. Okay,
let me ask you a question. Because you did show up the same day, when I saw you at first appearance the next day, I chose to set you a bond, even though it was a failure to appear, because you were a couple hours late, 2 or 3 hours late. But I set you a bond, right?
Yes, sir.
But you're not going to be able to post the bond, correct?
I can post a bond, but sir, why should I post a bond when I haven't done it? I haven't done it. Why waste my people money like that, sir? Why waste it? I'm not gonna waste my dad money as it is. He got me a lawyer now for this charge.
Okay. Somebody's hired you an attorney for this charge?
My dad, Thomas Walker Sr. Yes, sir.
Has hired
he said, why you keep getting in trouble?
If you have, listen to me, if you have an attorney, we can't go forward in your case without your attorney being here. I don't think there's a notice of appearance in the file. Have you hired an attorney, or are you planning to hire one?
My dad's gonna hire an attorney for me so I can come home.
Okay.
Because I'm innocent, sir.
Let me ask you this question.
Yes,
Let me ask you this question. What may be a solution? A solution might be to convert your $5,000 bond to a cash bond of $500. And here's why that may be more reasonable to you: is if the case gets dismissed, that bond is returned to whoever posted it. So you're not wasting money if the case is dismissed. If the case is not dismissed, and if there's court costs and fines ordered, the bond is taken to be applied towards court costs and fines. So I don't necessarily have a problem. I would get input from the state. I don't necessarily have a problem converting this to a cash bond if that's what you would like to do. Would you prefer that?
I just want to prove my innocence, sir, because I didn't do this right here. I just want to prove my innocence.
So
why should I spend money when I know I'm innocent, sir?
You don't have to spend any money. You can stay right where you're at. But I got to make sure you're here for court, and we don't show up for an arraignment or pretrial. I don't have a choice but to issue a warrant, and I want to make sure I know where you're at next time we have court. And you didn't show up last time. So if you don't want a cash bond, we'll leave it the way it is. Ms. Bremer, is it state's intent to go forward with this case?
It is, Your Honor.
Okay. Prosecution says they're going forward. That's their decision. It's not up to the alleged victim. They can make a request to drop, but that is not, and I don't know if they have or not. Have they, Ms. Bremer? Do you know?
I don't.
You said 60 days. I almost got 60 days in, Your Honor.
The state's offer 60 days in jail?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. That's the offer at this point. We got you set for that court date. If you decide you change your mind and you want to take the offer, let Mr. McDaniel know. But right now, we're going to get you in front of a jury in November. Okay.
So can I just say one more thing, sir, please?
Sure.
Sure. So basically, this is one conviction. Basically, if I got 15 days left, 60 days, this is one of the convictions, then, Your Honor. But I didn't even do it.
So I
All right,
don't understand your question.
Okay, Your Honor, I understand what you're saying, and I apologize for my greatness, but.
Let me ask this.
So
Let me ask
they
this.
just wanted-
Let
they
me
just
ask this
wanted
question.
conviction. Yes, sir.
I don't know anything about the case other than what the complaint says. I read the complaint. I read it again this morning. Do you want to come
Yes,
back
sir.
to court on the 60th day? Is that going to change your mind if you're offered time served at that point, or you still want to just leave it the way we said it today?
I'll come back to court, Your Honor. Whenever I have to come back to court to prove my innocence, I'll come back to court, Your Honor.
No,
But I
what I'm
didn't do
asking
this.
you
Yes,
is
sir.
I'll set you for a court date on the 60th day or the next weekday if that's what you want. But if you say, I'm not interested in pleading even time served, that's the state's offer of 60 days. But if you're not interested in that, you're not interested. So you want to
let
come
me go
back
home
the
today?
day we've said, or do you want to? No, you can't go home unless you post bond because you missed court. All right, we'll see you next court date. Have a good day, sir. All right, we have a in custody docket. We have some individuals that have just shown up in the courtrooms. We'll try to see if we can take the people that have friends or
0203 and 22S00833.
Richard McDuffie for the people.
Paul Barnett on behalf of the township.
Sorry, Mr. Barnett. David I. Goldstein appearing on behalf of the defendant in file number 22S833SD.
Thank you.
Assistant Public Defender Dottie Leib on behalf of Mr. Osman in the township matter.
Thank you. All right, so we're here today for an in-person hearing as was ordered by the magistrate in this case, because Mr. Osman was on screen with the magistrate, admitted that he was looking for a place to park and admitted to driving 2 weeks prior to that in Otsego County as well. So he was here on a bond hearing in this particular matter.
In the 833 matter, Your Honor?
I think in all of these matters, to be honest, except for the dog at large.
Okay, I was unaware of that, Your Honor, until the court just indicated I had no knowledge of any bond violation, alleged bond violation.
Well, sir, you're being arraigned on a bond violation wherein you admitted to driving 2 weeks before your hearing on September 27th, and that you were seen driving on the screen and looking for a place to park in front of the magistrate.
But I wasn't have my driver license suspended or canceled, and I went to Secretary of State and they give me the paper here.
Does that say that you were valid as of September 27th?
No, when I was driving, I
You
was.
should probably talk to your attorney before you say anything else out loud.
No, that's okay, because there's nothing wrong on that. I was in the Zoom and they didn't call my name, so I came over here. No, he talked about that. So
Sir, you should probably listen to your attorney.
okay.
Mr. Goldstein, may I discuss this matter with your client to on this other matter?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
He wants to know, can he discuss the entirety of this matter with your client since he's present here with him?
Sure.
September 27th.
At the time.
No, I wasn't even know.
I'll pass it. You can go over there. I'll handle another matter. It'll be hopefully brief, Mr. Goldstein, just so you know.
Appreciate it. You're having quite a morning this morning.
All right, the court will recall the case of the state of Michigan versus Abdelma Hassan Osman, case number 22S00833 and 23W002302220.
Rachel McDuffie for the people.
Paul Barnett on behalf of the township.
David I. Goldstein appearing on behalf of the defendant in file number 22S833SD.
Well, Defendant Don Leo on behalf of Mr. Osman, the dog at large matter.
Thank you.
Your Honor,
Do you have
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
With regard to the alleged bond violation, after discussing the matter with my client, I'm going to need some time to look into that. So we're going to be asking that matter be set for a hearing.
What you're requesting is an adjournment in the bond violation hearing because today is the end time scheduled for that hearing. But I will adjourn it and I will put it over to, let's see. We have, final settlement conference on October 26th.
Well, Your Honor, we were thinking that the underlying matter was going to get resolved today.
Oh, okay.
Probably should have led with that.
We're there now. That's all that matters. Where are we with the underlying matter?
Your Honor, my client is going to tender a plea of no contest due to lack of memory. The date of offense, and this is in August of 2022. That's on my case. I can't speak for the other cases, Your Honor.
Please plead no contest to both count 1 and count 2.
Is that correct, Ms. McDuffie?
That's correct. And I just want to also check. Mr. Osman, I think, had another bond violation with respect to that second case that he got. Did he already resolve that one, Mr. Goldstein?
You have to understand, Ms. McDuffie, we meaning defense counsel are the last people to know about bond violations and violations of probation.
Well, you know about this one, his second BAC case that you were working on, Ms. Kirby. Did he already take that? Yeah.
No, that plea has not been entered yet. It's been worked out, but we haven't entered it yet. But yeah, we don't find out about these bond violations until you tell us. So.
I know. This one was old news, but I just didn't know if he had taken that plea. So yes,
not yet.
So the agreement was essentially he will be pleading as charged in this case for any reduction he got in that other one. That's why I brought that up.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, didn't mean right. You're correct.
All right, sir, will you please raise your right hand to be sworn? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide with the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? It's my understanding, sir, you're going to be pleading guilty to operating with a blood alcohol content of 0.17 or more.
He's never.
That is a misdemeanor, and it carries a maximum penalty of up to 180 days in a Washington County jail and or $700 fine plus court costs. You would also be pleading guilty to count 2, operating while your license is suspended, revoked, or denied. That is a misdemeanor carrying a maximum of 93 days and up to $500 fine plus court costs. Is that your understanding of your agreement with respect to case number 22S00833? That's what you want to do, sir?
Yes.
Please raise, oh, you already did that. All right, I'm gonna go over some rights that you have that you're gonna be giving up by entering into this plea. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony, I did that too, didn't I? Yes, I swore you in. All right. You have the right to have a trial by a jury in this matter, at which time, if you want, you could call witnesses to speak for you and get an order signed by me to require that those witnesses come to court. You have the right to see, hear, and question any and all witnesses that are called by the prosecution, and you have the right to be a witness for yourself, or you could choose to remain silent. If you did choose to remain silent, the prosecutor could not comment on that. You also have the right to be presumed innocent unless proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand those rights? Do you understand you're going to be giving up each and every one of those rights and you're not going to be having a trial of any sort? Do you also understand that there is no automatic right to appeal this decision? So the decision you're making today, in all likelihood, is going to stick with you.
This was what my lawyer saying.
I'm sorry?
This is what my lawyer talk about now.
So you're asking me if your lawyer and you are agreeing that you're going to do this?
Yes.
Yes,
As far as I,
Yes.
we are.
so You understand that you're gonna be giving up all the rights we talked about earlier, right?
Yes.
And there's no automatic right to appeal this decision.
Yes.
And you also understand that, once you do this, you could be guilty of any violating any bonds, paroles, or probation. If you were on those on August 19th of 2022, were you on any of those?
Yes.
You were? Were you on probation, bond, or parole on August 19th?
I'm in the bond, but I didn't violate the bond.
Okay, you were on bond on August 19th of 2022?
Yes.
Okay,
Your Honor, I believe he's a little confused. He has a similar charge in 14A1, but I believe this case was charged first. So he was not on bond on that case when this happened.
okay. And you're comfortable moving forward at this time, sir?
Yes.
All right,
It's so long.
all right. And then the other question I have for you is if you're not a US citizen, you could have immigration consequences. Are you a US citizen, sir?
No.
All right. You've had adequate opportunity to speak to your attorney about that and you're ready to proceed?
No, I'm good on that.
I'm sorry?
Come proceed.
All right. So you understand that there might be immigration consequences?
Yes.
All right, thank you. All right, on, August the 19th of 2022, were you operating a motor vehicle? Oh, it's no contest. Did someone send me the report?
She did. Ms. McDuffie did, Your Honor.
Okay, one moment. Oh. Okay. Last thing I got was it sent. Whatever reason, my test and did a blood draw, which showed 0.200 grams of alcohol. I find that there's a factual basis for the operating with a high BAC, given that it was a 0.220. I'm looking for the,
Bottom of page 7, Your Honor.
thank you. They also found that Lien showed that his license was revoked with 11 prior driving while license suspended offenses. I find that there's a factual basis for the plea that's been willingly and knowingly made. Are you satisfied, Ms. McDuffie?
People are satisfied, Your Honor.
I'm satisfied, Your Honor.
Thank you. Sentencing in this case will be on November. I think I need to put it in the third. Do we have the third seat? How about the 15th?
That's a Wednesday.
Okay.
So 16 would be the 16th.
Okay, no. November 13th, which is a Monday. Does that work with your calendar,
No, Your Honor, I'm taking the week before Thanksgiving and the week of Thanksgiving off. We can do the Monday after Thanksgiving if that works for the court.
You talking about November 27th?
Yes, Your Honor.
We might as well do November 28th then.
Okay.
All right,
That's
we'll just leave it on the Tuesday, November 28th, 2023 at 10 o'clock a.m. We will also do our bond hearing on that date.
Thank you.
And then as to our Ypsilanti Township cases, I guess it's just one.
Yes, Your Honor, I've discussed this matter with Mr. Barnett, and he's indicated to me that an adjournment will be required in order to provide the underlying police report.
That's correct, Your Honor. We could set for the same date, I suppose, that we've just set.
All right, November 28th at 10 o'clock a.m. Mr. Osman, you have your license now?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Permit now.
Sorry,
It is a permit now.
a permit. So you're listed as expired still in the system.
What's going on with all of these cases, this is what's going on, but with Secretary of State, I just was there like the day the guy said he saw me on the.
Sir, I'm not asking you about that right now.
Okay.
Okay. Mr. Lebo, you reviewed his documentation. Does it appear that he has a permit?
He has, Your Honor, I did review the documentation. At this time, he has an expired permit.
Sir, your license is still expired. You're not legitimate. You should not be driving.
Okay.
I'll see you back here on November 28th. If you get another driving while license suspended between now or expired or anything like that between now and the next court date, it looks like I need to put you in jail for you to get the point. You cannot drive.
Okay. Thank you, Honor.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Honor.
I believe I have one more person.
Court will call the case of the state of Michigan versus Marcus Hollis, case number 23S00442 and 23W0033139.
Rachel McDuffie for the people.
Paul Barnett on behalf of the township.
First of all, County Deputy Legal for Mr. House to the approach. All right, Mr. House, please state your name.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Smith. Yeah, this afternoon. Well, Mr. Hollis managed to get himself here in front of me. What you do last time, Mr. Hollis, to get you here?
My accent was kind of messed up. I had a bad day.
You had a bad day? You want to have another one today? No?
No.
All right, so we're here on something simple. Oh, I remember this case. Mr. Hollis, all he needed to do was stop talking and stop trying to direct the court, and then he could have actually just not been here or had to come back at all. But Mr. Hollis wouldn't stop.
I apologize.
Are you apologizing? Okay. All right. Did Ms. McDuffie, did you have a chance to review the documentation for Mr. Hollis?
I did, Your Honor, and I'm not trying to make this matter any more complicated. But the reason I needed some time is because it was a form I hadn't really been familiar with. Instead of the standard no fault insurance cards that we normally get, this was a 2, maybe 3-page PDF document that was actually liability insurance for a commercial policy. So what it is that the insured policy on that document is a company called Kinsey's Trucking LLC. And it lists Mr. Hollis's vehicle as one of the ones that is covered, but that is something different than a private citizen having the required no fault insurance that's required by law. It appears that this company's general insurance for liability, not no fault, which is different also, it's kind of, as if you drive your car for a company. I don't know who is involved in that company, but that's a different issue than them insuring themselves on some liability that they could incur while that car is being used for that profession and under that employment. When the officers ran this in lien at the time of this traffic stop, Mr. Hollis did not possess a no fault insurance for himself or his vehicle at that time. That was on not January, pardon me. That was on this policy for this company.
5/29.
Yes, this policy for this company covers the dates of July 13th, 2023 to 24. So on the date of this stop, Mr. Hollis's own person in his own vehicle, I guess, if it's not a better way to say that, did not possess the required no fault insurance as required by law. So this document, although it does show this company has a separate policy as it may relate to that vehicle, does not cover Mr. Hollis for the purposes of this specific citation in this statute. Now, that being said, I don't have a problem extending Mr. Hollis at this point. Mr. Hollis also had another no insurance case that defaulted August 29th, I believe, and I think he just paid that off. Or rather, it was before that he paid it on August. So I don't have a problem extending the civil infraction in this case. Due to, I think, that circumstance. I don't know if he wants to pursue it further or question that. I'm not prepared to extend an offer to dismiss based on what I have, but he can take the civil infraction.
That was a lot.
Can I say something?
After you consult with your attorney.
It was just speaking on the insurance. I had insurance, but they can hear. I'm not. It's just I had insurance when he came and asked me. He said I had to bring it up on my phone. I had to log in. He said, "Okay, do that. I'll come back. Let me go check my license." But when he came back, he was going to take footage.
I finished talking with Mr. Hollis, and he will accept the offer of civil infraction.
All right, Mr. Hollis is going to accept the offer of the civil infraction of no proof of insurance. Is that correct? I'm writing it out. Well, before we do that, what are we going to do on the traffic signal violation?
Your Honor, that's not the same offense date as the state case, is it?
It is.
I
All of these are from the same.
might be. I
If
think
it
it's
is,
the same.
I'm willing to just dismiss that if he tenders his plea to the civil infraction.
All right. Thank you. All right, sir. So the misdemeanor will be dismissed and the other civil infraction will be dismissed, and you would be accepting responsibility for no proof of insurance on the date of July 29th, 2023. And that would be at the vicinity of Washtenaw and Hewitt Road in Ypsilanti Township. Is that correct? All right, the fine in that case is $155. Can you pay that today or do you need time? Count one is dismissed as well as the other ticket in its entirety, $155. We'll send the file out to the front right there. You can go out and pay it. Okay? All right, thank you. Take care of yourself. Mm.